All right, good morning, everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing great today on this happy Wednesday. And as mentioned, my name is Dr. Christopher Robinson, currently the BSW Program Director and Assistant Professor of Social Work at Penn State Greater Allegheny. We are extremely excited to launch our new BSW program beginning fall 2022. And I'm here to share some great insight and some great updates with each of you regarding the BSW program, our program's mission, and a little history about the university and also the BSW program as well. So at Penn State Greater Allegheny, as I mentioned, we will be officially launching our Bachelor's of Social Work degree program. It's really an exciting time for our university, an exciting time for our region in the Mon Valley. Social work has had a unique history at Penn State. Formerly at University Park, we actually offered a Bachelor's of Social Work program between 1975 and 1994, which ran for about 19 years. And 28 years later, we are in the process of officially relaunching our Bachelor's of Social Work program, which will be housed here at Penn State Greater Allegheny in McKeesport. And so there's a few reasons to why we decided to launch this program here within the McKeesport area. One, we certainly understand the various levels of needs that exist within our region as well. And so we also recognize that social workers are at the forefront with being able to help eliminate social problems and to be able to connect individuals to resources, services, and programs to be able to help build a greater and stronger community. So we're really excited to offer that program beginning fall 2022. And we are currently in the process of working towards CSW accreditation, in which when our first graduating class will graduate, we plan to have our accredited program ready to go and to be able to be fully accredited by the CSWE. So the BSW program at Penn State, the BSW program will prepare graduates to work competently and effectively with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and diverse communities. Our program is grounded in diversity, ethics, field education, and theory, and BSW students will be prepared to work with diverse practice settings as generalist practitioners. So as I mentioned, our program will begin fall 2022, in which we will start our first cohort number 1, and with the expectation of graduating our first class by spring 2026. And as I mentioned, we're certainly in the process of securing CSWE accreditation, which is the accrediting body for all schools of social work at a bachelor's and master's level. And the expectation will be for us to have our CSWE accreditation by the time we graduate our first class in 2026. So the mission of social work is really unique, and we really hope that this mission really resonates with students, it resonates with individuals in the community, because Penn State Greater Allegheny will be the first social work program specifically housed here within our Mon Valley region. So we're excited about that. But when we look at the social work mission as a whole, we know that the primary mission of social work is to enhance human well-being and to meet the basic needs of all people, with particular attention to the needs of empowerment of people who are vulnerable, oppressed, and living in poverty. So this mission is in alignment with the National Association of Social Workers mission for what social work is. And this mission of social work as a profession certainly aligns with our BSW program mission and also our BSW program vision. And our mission is to enhance human well-being and eliminate social injustices through advocacy, culturally competent practice, global citizenship and leadership, scholarship and service. And our vision for the program is to cultivate a competency-based, diverse, student-centered learning environment that empowers social work students to advance human well-being through competent, culturally sensitive, anti-discriminatory, and anti-racist social work practice. And one of the reasons to why that's part of our program vision is in alignment with the 2022 CSWE EPOS, which is our educational standards for accreditation. The CSWE is now requiring schools of social work to incorporate anti-racism, anti-discrimination into their program goals as well. And so we're looking to be able to incorporate that to our vision as we prepare for the new standards, which are soon to come. So as a social work graduate who actually has a bachelor's degree in social work, there's a variety of different career fields in which BSW graduates can pursue. And that can also involve working with young adults and children, adolescents, child welfare, community development, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and et cetera. In addition to working in forensic social work, which is kind of an intersectionality between law and social justice and also social work as well. Human rights, housing, working with LGBTQIA plus populations, and the list goes on. So there's a lot of opportunities for social work students here within Allegheny County and within the Mon Valley region. And we certainly look forward to coordinating and collaborating with some of your organizations to be able to provide a robust field experience for our students and to really be able to engage our students into what social work is truly about by getting involved in community as much as possible. We also understand that the overall employment of social work is projected to grow by 12%, and particularly here within Allegheny County. When we look at the national rate or salary of social workers who hold a BSW, it's approximately 60,000, and that range usually falls between 52 and 68,000. And that could be depending on where you may live within the region or in the country as well. And it also may depend if you have a BSW or an LBSW, which we're happy to see now here in Pennsylvania. I believe around August 2020 is when the LBSW licensure has become active here in our state. And so currently statewide, there are only about 14 LBSWs. And so we're looking to be able to help increase that as well as we continue to prepare our social work students for the future of social work professions. And this chart just kind of gives us an idea of what the employment projection is for social work here in the United States between 2019 and also 2029. So we see that there has been an increase, or there will be an increase for the need of social workers in healthcare. So working in medical settings as medical social workers or healthcare social workers as well, and also working in mental health and substance abuse social work. So we're seeing an increase here nationally, and we're also seeing an increase with these areas of practice locally as well, as we continue to see more needs for hospitals to be able to work with patients and work with the communities, in addition to meeting the needs of individuals who may be dealing with mental health challenges or also addiction, substance abuse, and et cetera. There's certainly a need for social workers at all levels, and particularly a need for social workers at the bachelor's level to be generalist practitioners to be able to meet the needs of those various populations. So our academic plan at Penn State Greater Allegheny is pretty transfer friendly. So we're looking forward to working closely with our community colleges that are local, and also working with students who may be transferring from other universities who may have an interest in joining us here at Penn State Greater Allegheny. So for students who are from community colleges or looking to transfer to Penn State, we have a pre-social work major in which students will prepare to advance to the social work degree major once they have achieved 60 credits and have completed the following courses. So as an incoming freshman, we encourage our students to pursue Introduction to Social Work within their first semester, and for the spring will be Social Work Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Justice, which is one of my favorite courses to teach. Next, for the sophomore year, we're looking for students to take Introduction to Social Welfare, in addition to Human Behavior and the Social Environment. These are 4 courses in which students can take at community colleges or at another university if they're interested in transferring. And these are the courses in which students will be fully admitted into the BSW program once they have earned 60 credits, which would include 48 additional general education credits, a 2.0 cumulative GPA with a C letter grade in all social work courses. So this is just the foundation of what students would take in terms of their first 2 years here at Penn State, in addition to their general education courses, whether a Penn State student or either a community college student or a transfer student. For our actual social work major students, once students have earned 60 credits, a 2.0 GPA, and a C letter grade of all social work courses, students will advance to their junior level courses, in which they will begin to take practice courses in social work specifically. So one of our first courses that we're offering is our Values and Ethics in Health and Human Development Professions, in which this course will teach students the values and ethics of social work, and also look at some of the values and ethics of other helping professions as well, and looking at how they compare and contrast, and how social workers advance values, and how we uphold our core values while working with individuals, families, communities, and organizations. Students will also be required to take a statistics course, which could be potentially transferred over as well. And going into our practice courses. So in social work practice, we certainly focus on those various levels of intervention, which includes individuals, families, groups, and communities. And so students would take specific courses, which would be tailored towards working with individuals, working with families, groups, organizations, and communities within their junior year as well. Students will also be responsible for taking a course on case management, which will include assessment documentation and effective interviewing skills in social work, a public policy analysis course to get a better understanding of what public policy is, how social workers use policy to be able to inform practice, and how they also help to advocate towards policy reform here in the United States. We also want to ensure that we're preparing our students for social work research. So students will be responsible for taking a research methods course, in addition to a practicum 1 and practicum 2 course as well. I really love the practicum courses because this is where students have the opportunity to be able to learn exactly what social work is through hands-on application by interning at an organization of their choice and being able to advance some of the work that's taking place there. So our first practicum course will be 3 credits, which will be a pre-practicum, and students will take their full practicum, which includes 9 credits during their second semester of their senior year. One thing that's really unique about our program, in addition, is that we're also requiring students to complete 2 400-level social work elective courses. So that could be a course in school social work, medical social work, working with substance abuse and addiction, and et cetera, or any course that kind of aligns with what students' goals may be within the profession. So students are also responsible for taking 2 social work elective courses. We're also requiring students to take an abnormal psychology or mental health disorders course so they can have a better understanding of the DSM-4, also looking at what are some of the various diagnoses related to mental health as well, and how we can better prepare and also meet the needs of individuals who require services in various interventions. And one of my favorite courses that we're requiring students to take is a trauma-informed care course. So each student will be required to take that course to be able to understand what trauma-informed care is and how they can incorporate that into their various practice methods within social work, and in addition to a child maltreatment and advocacy course. So we're really excited for what some of our offerings are currently within the program, and we certainly look forward to being able to work with students to be able to prepare them to be professional social workers who are culturally competent, who have a high level of ethics, and who are ready to be able to serve their communities as generalist practitioners. So why Penn State Greater Allegheny? Several reasons to why Penn State Greater Allegheny, but I'll share a few of those reasons with you. One is that students have the opportunity to graduate from one of the top public research universities in the nation. Penn State has a great internationally known brand, and we are certainly considered one of the top universities in our state and also in the nation. And although students will attend Greater Allegheny here in McKeesport, you are still a Penn State student. Your degree will say the Pennsylvania State University specifically, and so you are part of the larger Penn State family. And we actually have 23 campuses in which we're just one university geographically distributed across the state. Second, students will receive a high quality education from experienced licensed social work faculty. And so that includes myself, and we're currently in the process of hiring a director of field placement and assistant teaching professor of social work. We're currently going through that search process now. And so we're looking to add another faculty member to our program. And so we really pride ourselves in our faculty being experienced in the field and also holding a license in social work specifically. Next, students can earn an affordable degree and also an LBSW licensure here in Pennsylvania. As I stated earlier in my presentation, we're in the process of securing CSWE accreditation. And by the time we graduate our first class, students should be eligible for licensure here in Pennsylvania. And so we certainly know that there is a significant need for more LBSWs in our state. And so we're looking to prepare students for licensure and also prepare them for advanced social work education to pursue the MSW. In fact, there's conversations now with the university in which we're exploring of potentially launching an MSW program through our World Campus. So that will be underway as well. Next, Penn State Greater Allegheny is a very transfer-friendly university in which students can transfer up to 60 credits towards the BSW degree. We also offer small class sizes, and we are a smaller campus feel. We're very close with our students, and students have an opportunity to really build relationships. And our average class size is about 15. So that allows faculty to be able to closely engage with students and for students to also be able to build relationships with their classmates and peers. Next, students will receive a new iPad tablet as becoming a new student at Greater Allegheny, in which they also will receive hands-on technology support inside and outside of the classroom. And last but not least, of course, we all love football and basketball, and students will also receive a discount to be able to attend Penn State football games and basketball games at University Park and also at other campuses as well. So we're very excited about that opportunity for our students. So at this time, I'd love to open the floor for some questions that you may have about our program, the structure, our curriculum, and et cetera. And as I said, we're excited and we look forward to opening our program this fall. So any questions I could potentially answer at this time? Okay. If there aren't any questions, that's totally fine. Here's my contact information. So my phone number is 412-675-9303, and my email address is cmr6836@psu.edu. Again, we look forward to being able to develop a collaborative working relationship with many of your organizations as we're looking to really roll out a very robust field education experience that has an emphasis on serving the Mon Valley community. And so I encourage you to reach out. Feel free to send me an email, give me a call, leave a message, and we can chit chat about opportunities. We're working closely with your organizations to be able to advance the needs of individuals here within the Mon Valley region. So I thank you for your time, and we are Penn State. So thank you.
Christopher, there are a couple of questions that just popped up in the chat. As a former Pitt alum, I can't believe that just came out of your mouth, but that's okay. But there are a couple questions in here. Dean asked, could you tell us about practicum sites that many of the Penn State students are connected with?
So we're still currently in the process of being able to establish what those sites will look like. Since our students will not necessarily be taking their full practicum until their senior year, which would be to the 2025-2026 school year, we're just still in the process of being able to establish those relationships and being able to collaborate and connect with current organizations that have an interest in working with us. So if there's any organizations that is interested in potentially taking on Penn State students, either as a pre-practicum experience or even as a service learning opportunity, we would love to work with you towards that as well. And so once our new field director is appointed and on board, that'll be his or her responsibility to be able to also help advance some of those relationships. But we're very eager to work with each of you in various capacities and to be able to develop a long-lasting relationship for students to be able to serve our communities and also to be able to get hands-on experience through field education.
Wonderful.
Christopher, as long as you don't bleed, blue and white will be okay. Because every Penn Stater I know bleeds blue and white.
Well, you know what, Mary? It's interesting that you say that because my colors in high school was blue and white, undergrad was blue and white, and now I'm back to blue and white. So it always has a way of pulling me back. Absolutely.
We do have a few more questions in the chat. Kelly asked, How is direct services and community organizing balanced in the curriculum?
Great. So within the curriculum specifically, we do have our communities and organizations course, which will be really focused on community-based theory and community development, and also community organizing as well. And so we're really looking forward to really, making that course a really strong course for students to be able to understand what community dynamics are, being able to apply theory to practice as well, and really getting students involved in what does it mean to be a citizen, what does it mean to be a leader, and what does it mean to be a social work who's working in the areas of advocacy, activism, and also community change as well. So we're really excited about that, and we're in the process right now of restructuring that course. And that course typically will have some connection to some organizations as well. So we really want to ensure that students are not just in the classroom, but also getting outside of the classroom and really looking at our community within the Mon Valley region as a larger classroom environment in which they can learn become engaged, and also being able to learn exactly how to be able to serve our communities best. And so we're excited about that. But I think it's important for students to be able to understand those various aspects of communities and organizations, in addition to understanding some of the aspects of what it means to be a social work administrator, whether it's through grant writing, strategic planning, et cetera, and being able to help really advance our communities forward. So we look forward to developing a robust course, and a lot soon to come.
Wonderful. And then Melanie had a question. You had mentioned that students would be working off the DSM-4. Is there a reason why the students will not be learning from the DSM-5?
So I misspoke. It will be the DSM-5. I apologize. The DSM-5, which is the most updated version. So we will be focusing on that. And that particular document will also be embedded within our human behavior and the social environment course, which is a lifespan development course as well. And also in addition to our abnormal psychology course, in which students will learn the various different mental disorders that exist, and also looking at best practices for being able to engage with clients, and also some potential medications that may be prescribed as well, and et cetera. And so, those things are extremely important, and not just for the knowledge base, but also for helping to prepare students to get ready for licensure as well. So anyone who holds a social work license understands that there's a lot of information on the exam that requires students to really know human behavior, and also to know the DSM-5 inside and out. And so there's various different courses in which we're planning to embed that in. And that will include our abnormal psychology course, also working with our individuals, and our HBSC course as well.
Okay. Thank you. Well, we look forward to partnering with you and with Penn State Greater Allegheny as a member of the MVPC, so collaborating more in the future. We appreciate your presentation. You have a little love in the chat, so be sure to check that out. Thank you so much. And we will hopefully see you at a future meeting.
Absolutely. I love to be here. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.